From the first breath of civilization to this very hour, there has been a through line of corruption, deception, enslavement, and desecration. It is not abstract. It is not faceless. It is men and dynasties, kings and financiers, generals and priests who built their thrones on the screams of the violated, the broken bodies of the enslaved, and the stolen inheritance of the innocent. Thrones have been raised upon fields littered with the corpses of the murdered and the starved, upon cities reduced to ash by conquest, upon villages where women were dragged into captivity and children were torn from their mothers' arms to be sold, abused, or slaughtered without mercy. The record begins in the valleys of Mesopotamia, where the first empires forged chains of debt and codified laws that stripped families of their land and freedom, where armies burned rival cities to the ground and carved their dominion into flesh and stone. It moves forward into Egypt, where monuments rose on the backs of the oppressed, where pharaohs enslaved nations to build their eternal tombs, and where conquest meant the rape of women and the shattering of entire peoples. It carries into Rome, where the crucifixion of rebels lined the roads for miles, where 1 million Gauls were butchered in Caesar's campaigns and another million dragged into bondage, where the siege of Jerusalem ended in rivers of blood, children dashed against stone walls, and the Holy Temple reduced to rubble. This current flows through medieval Europe, where crusaders stormed Jerusalem not with prayers but with swords, cutting down tens of thousands in streets that ran with blood knee-deep, where inquisitors stretched human beings on racks in the name of God, and where financiers drained kingdoms through usury until kings turned against them, expelling them in fury after their subjects had been bled dry. It thickens in the age of empire, where ships ferried millions of Africans across the Atlantic in chains, stacked like cargo, where lash and starvation claimed countless lives before their feet touched foreign soil, and where colonizers extinguished entire civilizations in the Americas, pillaging gold, spreading plague, and baptizing mass slaughter as holy conquest. And it threads forward still into the rise of modern banking dynasties who learned to fund both sides of wars, who turned the blood of soldiers into profit columns on ledgers, who underwrote railroads and armories, who acquired land in Palestine and prepared it for dispossession. It bursts into the 20th century, where entire villages were erased in the Nakba, where women were cast into exile, where children grew up behind checkpoints and barbed wire, and where the land of Bethlehem and Nazareth, the very soil on which Christ himself had walked, was captured, militarized, and desecrated under the guise of prophecy. This is not opinion. This is not conjecture. This is history itself, written in contracts signed with blood, in treaties brokered with deceit, in ledgers fattened by slavery and usury, and in the cries of innocence carried across the centuries. It is written in shattered bodies, in raped women, in children buried in unmarked graves, in the smoke of villages burned, in the rubble of temples razed, in the ruins of cities bombarded, and in the silence of the world that has too often turned away.